Oh, Bones.
Oh, baby.
Look at our guy.
Finally.
Mile High City, baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Bones Season Preview.
Let's go, baby.
We're into the big guns now. Into the big guns. Bones Hyland, the crown jewel of the 21-22 season, I would say. What'd you say?
Definitely.
Not the MVP?
He did that the year before. He was the crown jewel. He was the surprise.
Sure.
Well, let's go to last year's stats, shall we? Last year's stats, 10 points, 2.7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 0.6 steals. Look at that, 40% from the field, 36.6% from three. He takes a lot of threes. That's why the field goal percentage is lower. Eric.
Some would say he's the second best shooter.
Some would say that. Eric, what jumps off the screen when you look at these numbers?
Well, I think sort of all of his numbers feel like they're lower than they should be. And a lot of that because last year he started off pretty slow.
Okay.
And he started to gain more and more confidence, more and more momentum as the year went on. And, really, I don't think his true impact is reflected in any of those numbers. his true impact is a guy that can win a playoff game for you. He's a guy that can come in and absolutely punch the other team in the mouth with back-to-back 3-point shots from way deeper than they're expecting and just sort of get you dazed and get the other team on their heels, which we saw in a lot of really big games. The other part about Bones Hyland that you can't measure, Adam, is the man's heart. He is.
I think every year for the physical they do.
Yeah, you
they
can measure
the
hearts
heart.
actually.
That actually ruined Jeff Green's early career.
True.
Right.
But
really tough on him. Glad he's better.
He's just able to dig deep when the moment is the biggest. He is an ultimate hooper, ultimate gamer, and that's what I love the most about Bones Hyland. Looking at his stats really doesn't give you that indication about him.
What do you think, Wind? What jumps out?
Well, he got to double figures in points. When was the last time a Nuggets rookie came out fresh and just did that? Bones Hyland, the second he got a chance, he established himself as one of the guys.
That's true.
And that's tough to do on the Nuggets. It just is. It's been tough to do in the Jokic era. So early last season, we looked at Bones Hyland, at least I did, I think we all did, and said, this is one of our guys. This can be a core member of this team. For a rookie to do that, that's rare, and it was really cool to see.
I'm looking at 40% from the field. Can that number get higher? We know he's a crafty, capable finisher around the rim. But we also know there are a lot of questions around that offense, that bench offense. Will it be a stagger? Will it be heliocentric Bones? Is that wise? And remember, it wasn't until the arrival of DeMarcus Cousins that Bones really blossomed. So can he be an efficient scorer? Does he need to just be a lead alpha scorer with the bench? Those are questions pertaining to operating around that 40% number. We'd love to see that get higher, of course.
Mm-hmm. I look at that 2.8 assists, and that's exactly kind of what my eye is on as well. He's an elite scorer who is a good passer, who has a good playmaking to him. I don't think the other way around, a great playmaker who can score. He's a scorer. I kind of want his mind on scoring as much as possible, but at the same time, the challenge is, can he get the assists up? Can he be a scorer that is so dominant that the assists just fall to him because guys are starting to double team, the rotations are coming harder? That'll be the challenge, I think, for him. So that 2.8 assist number, I'm curious to see where that goes. And by the way, I think his minutes are going up. Even though guys are coming back, he's going to be a rare exam. Most of the guys' minutes going down. Jeff Green, for example. Bones' minutes probably going to go up. All right, let's get to the big question.
Oh, boy.
I just said I think he's a scorer. What is the most points per game Bones could average this season before you were surprised? Wind, if I told you, he scored 30 points a night, of course you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But if I told you he repeated his 10 points per game, you would not be surprised. So what's the number where if I told you that's the number, you would be surprised by it?
I'm going to say 16.
That's a lot of points. Jamal Murray has averaged that many, I think, twice.
Yeah. Could I see Bones Hyland scoring 15 points a game?
4 times. I was way off.
Absolutely. I could see Bones Hyland scoring 15 points a game. He's going to play more than he did last year. Scored 10 points a game last year. He's going to get a couple starts when Jamal Murray's out of the lineup. Sure he's going to get the chance to close some games. He's going to have, just some quarters where he scores 10 points. So 15 points a game, I think, is gettable if he has a great year. And also, coming off the bench, if he still has just that scores mentality. If he carries that with him throughout the whole season, I think he can get 15 a game.
So, Vogt, Will Barton never did that. You know, the only Nuggets in this era to have done that are Jokic, Murray, Porter, and then like Gallinari. So is that 16? Would that shock you?
Well, first of all, he's a more prolific scorer than Barton, just in terms of talent, what he's got up his sleeve, so to speak.
Threes are worth more than twos.
That is
Shoots
true.
a lot of threes.
Thanks for that.
That is true. Yeah.
How much more?
But just a more capable offensive player, I think, more dynamic. So I think 16 is a good number. I don't want to just copy Wind, but I do expect that number to go up. There's a ceiling on it for me, though, because we saw what the five-man bench offense looks like, and it's not great. So, again, we don't have all the answers. If Michael Porter Jr. is on the floor, does that help Bones? Does that detract from his shots? You know, these are the factors I have my eye on, but there's a limit on how high it jumps.
Yeah, I mean that 16 that's got to be the benchmark, right? That takes you into Will Barton territory and above.
Takes you above Will Barton.
Yeah, but I'm 15. Like it looks, I'm looking now. 15.7 was the most that Will Barton ever averaged for the.
And what year was that?
2017.
So you're talking about the early days of Will Barton.
Yeah,
you know, now there's more scoring because
Exactly.
you think Yoke's going to score, Murray's going to score, MPJ's going to score.
It's true. The one difference is that he probably will not be in the starting lineup. He'll be.
Right. Yep.
We're talking about, you know, we don't quite know what his role is going to be on that second unit. Obviously, he's going to be running the show. We don't know if it's going to be alongside Ish Smith from time to time, or if he's going to be asked to be more of a facilitator than just a pure scorer. But he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot and have the ability to shoot should he see fit. So I would be amazed if he got to that height, but I wouldn't be that amazed.
Yeah. I think my number will probably be 17. It's a little bit higher. I'm not predicting it. It's just I wouldn't be surprised if he got 16 points. I think he's going to play a lot of minutes because Murray early on, he'll be out there. And I just think he's a natural scorer. Even as much as Murray, like Murray has these peaks that, I mean, very few people reach. Bones is an effortless scorer. He just scores when he's out on the court. He did it in the preseason already in the game that he got to play a lot of minutes. I think he's a natural scorer, and I do think that he's going to be a guy that they just need points in that second unit. He's going to be a bucket getter all year. So for me, I'm not predicting it, but if you told me he had 17, I wouldn't be surprised. You told me he had 18, I'd be like, oh my God, did he score more than Murray? Did he score more than Porter? Did the Denver somehow have 4 18-point per game
If he scores 18 per game, he might score more than Jamal Murray or Michael Porter.
That would be absolutely wild. All right, let's get bold, guys. Let's do it. So very bold. I won't go to Vogt because I know he's not prepared.
I am prepared. I know this one.
Okay, oh, you ready? All right, Vogt, let's go to you. Let's see what you got.
Okay, Bones Hyland will literally announce a campaign for mayor of Denver. That's my bold
I think
prediction.
he could win, actually.
I think he's
He's starting his campaign at Chopper Circle. Right?
Yeah, and you know, I don't really know where we're at in the old election cycles, but like Kanye,
midterms coming up,
he's willing to float it out there and just say, "What do y'all think?"
He hasn't even won Mr. Nugget yet.
He's gonna.
Is there an age requirement for mayor?
He's gonna take the temperature. He's gonna take. What do y'all think about Busy for mayor?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll find out. Wind.
I think he's going to be MVP of that rookie sophomore game.
This is terrible.
Nobody really cares about.
Yeah, wow, what a prediction. Is that going to be wow, he's going to win a game nobody watched?
AKA the Kenneth Reed.
AKA the Jamal Murray.
Oh, you think Jamal will tell him going into it like, hey, you know, I won the MVP?
Look, did anybody catch Bones Hyland in any of those pro-ams over the summer? Did anybody see? Did you see some of those? Did you guys see some of those?
He's trying to rebound this take.
That's going to be what the rookie sophomore game looks like. It's going to turn into a Bones Hyland pro-am.
I'm down for that.
He's not wrong.
Sign me up for that.
It's just a very it doesn't really get the juices flowing.
It doesn't get the juices flowing. Although that when it arrives,
it's going to be dead on. Dead on.
Eric, what do you have?
MIP. Most improved player. I've already put my bet in. He's going to win most improved player in the NBA. There's not much precedent for a second-year player winning it. I don't care. Bones Hyland is a cut above. I mean, it's sort of a rare thing. I think probably a lot of people are maybe looking at him as a potential sixth man of the year candidate.
Yeah.
I just, from watching enough basketball now and just watching the classic year 1 to year 2 leap that elite players make. I just feel like he is on track to make that. And I just think that he is in a position where he can be super impactful and he can be super visible in those two, and which is what would take you, what would be required to get you to win that honor. So I think that whether or not he actually wins it, I think he will be the most improved player in the NBA.
I love this.
In your heart.
Yeah,
in my heart, there's no question.
It's all about the friends we made along the way. Anyway.
I have a bold one for you guys. It's so bold.
Oh, my God.
I think that he is going to have not one, but 2 40-point games this season. 2 40-point games. Jamal Murray in his 3rd season had 2 40-point games. In his 2nd season, he did not have a single one. He had 2, though, in his 2nd season, 48, 46. I think we're going to see something like that for Bones. He's a great scorer, but he's also like, he catches fire, and it's just like, oh, yeah, somebody's going to hand up bottoms. And I think he's going to catch fire a handful of times, 2 of which will lead to 40-point games for him this year.
I think this is the hottest one.
That might bump his scoring average over 17.
I have a second bold prediction if you go into here.
Okay, let's hear it.
I believe Bones Hyland and D-Line will make another T-shirt. We'll see.
I believe that'll happen as well.
Fixed. This feels fixed.
I think there's a shocking stat out there for us, guys. What? Is there a shocking stat? Oh, there it is.
Ow.
Oh, man. Electricity is so scary.
It is so scary.
But so powerful. Bones Hyland.
Any Nikola Tesla fans? Plug your ears.
Bones Hyland shot 39% on deep threes last season from at least 27 feet. Guess where that ranked last year, Eric, in the NBA?
Well, obviously Dame Lillard led the.
No.
Oh, that's right. He barely played.
He barely played. That led the NBA. 39% on
that
deep
is
threes.
Shocking.
That's such a shocking stat.
That's shocking.
It truly. I mean, honestly, that is very shocking.
Yeah.
I would have guessed honestly Trae Young.
Yeah, you would have guessed that, huh? He takes a lot. Nope.
You
Bones
would have
Hyland.
thought.
Honestly, though, here's the thing about this new generation of which Bones is sort of a poster child. 3 or deep 3, the same thing. It's like not a different thing in his mind. Is pull it from deep.
Yeah, and teams are taking more of them, and why not? Like guys can make it from there. They practice those shots. The ability to pull up from that deep, though, that just changes how the defense kind of has to guard you. Changes everything.
The one thing about shots like that also, which is, again, the subtext of that shot is that how jarring it is for the other team because you just feel it's like the most hopeless.
It's so deflated. It feels worth 7 points.
Yeah, it's truly indefensible unless you are planning on starting your defense at mid-court, which becomes tiresome. And often, you of course let your guard down. You're thinking, well, I'm not going to have to guard this guy 27 feet from the basket, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, think about poor Austin Rivers guarding Dame on the perimeter, and it's and a large part of that is that it starts once you're across the logo. Yes. So and that's why though we talked about Bones' crafty finishing and how he can do it on the inside. If he can develop an in between game, if he can be dangerous from the mid range, because of what we're talking about, this is going to be a guy that's going to get very difficult to guard very quickly here.
I think the biggest thing with these deep threes is that last year, guys still didn't guard him out there. Part of the value of hitting deep threes is then guys feel like they have to go out further on, and there's more
spacing, baby.
More spacing. And I think that obviously we see this for Steph, who nobody would give a 35-foot shot. Like you don't do that. Yeah. Bones isn't there yet, and I'm curious to see at the start of the season, are teams giving that shot to him? Does he hit enough of them early on that teams are like, hey, man, we got to Jokic can start setting ball screens for him 28 feet from the basket, and now teams are really compromised. That would be the real benefit of that. But I do love this stat. I believe in this stat. We watched the scrimmage where he was going up against the Stars, second unit versus starters. How did that game effectively end? With Bones draining a 30-foot three-pointer.
Same with every pro-am that we watched.
And every pro-am. And KCP standing at the three-point line and being like, wait, you're going to shoot that? Oh, my God.
Right.
So I am buying the stat. I think it's one of his elite skills, and I hope that it's one that he gets off to a hot start. Because I imagine if you miss these early on, it's hard to keep chucking them.
It's true.
I don't think so for him, though.
Yeah, probably not for Bones.
Paul George thinks it's a bad shot.
That's right. Paul George definitely does. All right, that does it for Bones Hyland, one of the most exciting players in all of the Nuggets.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Big year for Bones incoming. We'll see you guys.